Riot stock has been a money printer in the Discord. My friends, if you're not in the Discord, feel free to join. Let me show you here real quick. Added 400 at 784 Riot stock. Added 200 shares of Riot at 7.77. Added 100 shares. Added 200 shares. I'm just accumulating. We are accumulating that stock under $10. And let me show you why you should be accumulating Bitcoin miners when cheap. The trading range is very clear. If you've been following this channel, you know I love trading ranges. Big fan of those because strategy is simple if you don't overthink it. Buy the bottom, sell when it goes up. My personal target is usually $12, $15, and then $20 if it even goes up that far. I'm going to explain to you why this strategy is just so profitable. Okay, so there's the trading range, very clear. You buy down here under $10. Here it came down as low as $9.70. So you would have bought in under $10. It ran from $9.70 here. By the way, that's a huge move. Let me see if I can get an arrow here. I'm still learning how to use. What is that? Is that Fibonacci? Is there any drawing tool? Is that the drawing tool? It ran. No, that is not a drawing tool. My bad. It ran from. Do they really not have? Yes, they don't have. Yeah, they don't have any tools here to. Well, for all intents and purposes, we ran from a low $9.65 to a high of $20. That's a 2x right there. And then it came back down under $10 and it came down as low as $8.69. Ran again to $18.71. So if you keep buying under $10, you're making easily minimum 20%, 50%, depending on where you sell. And then it comes back down again, and this time it only goes down as low as $9.70. It did last time, and it runs again to $18. It comes down again. You're making 20 to 50% on each one of these runs because we're assuming you're not selling the top. We are buying under $10. That's our strategy, but we don't. We only sell when we get to 20 to 50%. That's kind of how I trade. I'm like, okay, 20%, I'm happy because 20% of 10K, that's $2,000. I'm happy. Look, I'm not greedy. Some people are greedy and they hold for longer than they should. Then it comes back down and they still decide I'm not going to sell yet because it's going to come back up. Other people are going to buy the dip and it's just going to go to $40, and they have this crazy idea that GME is just going to go to thousands, and we don't think like that. We take what the market gives us. If it's going to give us 20%, we take it. 10%, we'll take it. 5% we'll take it. 50% we'll take it, but we try to aim for 20 to 50%. So let's just assume you only make 20% on each one of these runs. 1, 2, here's another one, 3. Here we come down as low. This is the first time in a long time where we come down as low as 761. The first time in a long time that we've been down here. Usually it holds above 8, but it comes down to 796. But again, we don't care. We buy. It comes down under $10. Comes back up as high as $12.59. So even if you bought at exactly $10, let's just say you had a limit order just at exactly $10, it still moved up 25% for you. So you still made a minimum of 20%. 20% is actually very easy to make with Riot stock, how volatile they are, especially Mara. Mara, I believe, is more volatile, so it can move more. And then it comes back down under 10, and it kind of bounces around between 9 and 11, so you could have just flipped it here over and over again. Then it comes back up to 13. We're finally creating a lower low. It's at the very bottom of this range, by the way. This is the first time we're at the very bottom of the range. It touches 759. And I just showed you, we've been buying down here. You're giving it to me this cheap, I will continue to buy. Because if this thing starts running, not when, if it starts running, then we will see this come back at $10 plus. And that's a 20% right there. And if it goes to $12, that's going to be, it's going to be almost, not almost, but, almost 100%. So that's what we're looking for. You got to love trading ranges. The strategy, again, is very simple. Now, I know some of you are wondering, what do you do when it doesn't work out? Well, here's the thing. We're not averaging down on a stock like Mullen. Mullen, for example, wait, that's SoundHound. Why am I being shown SoundHound? Mullen, for example, this stock just, you look at that. You see the difference? It just keeps going down. It just keeps going down. It just keeps going down. Sure, it has its pops, but over the long term, it just creates lower lows and lower highs. So what does that mean? What does that tell us? Well, you probably wouldn't want to average down on something like this because it just keeps going lower and lower and lower and lower and doesn't seem to have any end. For all intents and purposes, you could call this stock a stock that's in a permanent bear market. And if you keep averaging down on this, you're just going to keep losing because it's never coming back up for you because it just keeps going down over the long term. Okay, I'm just showing you this. Averaging down on a stock like this, it's not a good idea. Averaging down on a stock like RIOT, as I was just showing you, let's go back in the past here because we did have a bear market. This bear market sent the stock from a high of 46 to a low of $4. And then a low of 360 down. 325 by the looks of it was the lowest point it got to. That's a huge drop, my friends. That's a huge drop. That's what a bear market does to stocks. It gets them real cheap. So cheap, in fact, that people are so fearful that they just would rather not buy because they think, oh my God, it just keeps going down. It's going to go to zero. So all these people are fearful. They don't buy. They chase it up once the market goes into its next bull run cycle. I believe if RIOT does not recover here, that would be a huge change in the pattern. And I would believe that we are headed towards, people don't want to call it a bear market. They want to call it a correction. They want to call it a pullback, whatever. They want to use any other term but bear market. But the reality is, if we start seeing Bitcoin, a bunch of other stocks like Nvidia, SPY, QQQ, we're going to see RIOT as well. We start seeing them trending to the downside. We're going to see Bitcoin under 30K again, 20K. We go into a huge bear market like last time, you'll see RIOT come down as cheap as $3 to $4, even $5. But then you look at the past and you're like, okay, it comes down nice and cheap, but then during the bull run, it went from 325 to 20. So clearly in the bull run, it has really good recovery. It recovered 50% of its drop because it dropped from $40, remember. It dropped from 40 to 3, but recovered half of its move to 20. 20 is halfway towards 40. That's what I'm trying to say. So, okay, so during a bear market, it gets real scary, sure, but during a bull run, holy crap, does it recover. So what do you think I'm going to do if this thing breaks down? For the first time, it would be the first time it breaks down below this range since 4/11/2023, since last year, 11th. Because it stayed between 10 and 20 for all intents and purposes. It stayed between 10 and 20 for over a year now. If it breaks down, I'm thinking this is a signal to me that we're probably entering a bear market, or maybe the crypto itself is entering a crypto winter, whatever people want to call it. But ultimately, the recovery on the way back goes to $20. We've seen that before. We have this history. So we know that in a bear market, even if it's just a bear market for crypto, we should take advantage of the cheaper prices and accumulate more because we know during the next cycle it can go up as high as 20. We might never see 40. The people holding a bag at 40, good luck. Good luck. This one was not on my radar until we were at the bear market under $10. So there you go, guys. This is very profitable. Averaging down on something like this that has that kind of recovery strength during a bull cycle, I think you add more as it goes down lower. But that's my thought process. That's how I think of it. Maybe this is the one time I'm wrong. Sure, you could say that. This is the one time I'm going to be wrong. I'm going to average down, and then it's going to go to $3. I'm going to average down, then it never recovers to 10. Because it would have to come to $10 for me to be able to recover, sell at a break even. Let's just say minimum break even, because for some reason I only bought at $10 on the dot. But that's not the case. Obviously, I'm just exaggerating. But the one time I'm wrong, I'm going to have to take the big loss. But the thing is, it's a Bitcoin miner. And Bitcoin itself, we've seen it come down as low as 15. People were scared. People did not want to buy. Oh my God, it's going to go to zero. This is the end of Bitcoin. doom and gloom, and now it's the opposite. Now everyone's buying and everyone's going crazy. Oh my God, we're gonna go to 100K, 200, 1 million per Bitcoin, whatever. So those are the cycles. And so when people when people get scared, that's when you want to buy. So hopefully this is a good lesson to look for trading ranges on stocks that have held for a long time. There's plenty of them out there. Tilray stock, another perfect example. With RIOT stock, you can just keep making 20% over and over again. Tilray stock, very clear trading range between 150 and let's just say 250, because this is kind of, its pops are kind of all over the place. But between 150 and 250, there's a trading range right there. There's opportunity here if you just wait for it to come down nice and cheap. And there's so many more out there. But right now, I'm focused on RIOT stock because of its volatility, because of the exposure to Bitcoin in that sense. So that's the second lesson to take away. Look for trading ranges, very profitable. And number 3, look for stocks that have good recovery after a bear market, because that means it's nothing more than a good opportunity to add nice and cheap if we do go into a bear market. And you're going to make way more gains than the people that are scared and then chase it up at like $20 or $15 or $10. And the final lesson to take away is exercise patience, be disciplined, and follow the game plan. Because I can tell you all the strategies in the world. If you're not willing to be disciplined, follow the game plan, you're just not. You're just never going to go anywhere.